Alright, here I am about to run a Lair of Lostmauth. I am running my Paladin healer, haven't had her out in a while. I have been messing around with my control wizard and decided to put him away for a little bit and go back to the Paladin healer. They're about to make a bunch of big changes to healing, a lot of which I really don't like, but I guess I'll get over it. This isn't a Paladin training video, this is just a dungeon run. So, the Lair of Lostmauth. So this is the sister dungeon to the Shores of Tern. There's really no comparing them to each other. The Shores is a much more difficult dungeon. I mean, a much more easy dungeon. This one is used to be one of the harder ones in the game. They have since made it a little more. It is actually more difficult now than it used to be when you fight the dragon at the end, which Lostmauth is a dragon. The difficult part used to be at the scorpions that were right before the boss. Now those aren't as bad, and Lostmauth is much harder. I guess that's the way it should be then. The first boss is through the doorway up there. Through that doorway. If you have done any Well of Dragons games, then you will have seen the type of enemy he is, which is a dragon rider, or drake rider, whatever you might want to call him. So when you do enough damage to them, they fall off the drake, and then they run around on the ground, and the drake can attack you. So it starts off as one enemy, ends up as two. So the reason we didn't run past all those mobs is because you have to kill 4 groups of them to get into for this door to unlock. You don't have to kill all of them, but you got to kill 4 groups. As you can see him through the doorway, there's really nothing that concerning about him. He will jump at you at the start, so it is best to move to the side, let the tank run forward, and you guys just don't stand in the spot where it starts. So he'll jump. That's really his first attack. There he goes. And he's with scaling and stuff, he's strong enough to kill a DPS, depending on how powerful you actually are. We got him to the stage where where the drake where he jumps off the drake, and he's exactly the same as any other drake rider. He's got a little lunge attack, and the drake is the same as any other drake you've ever seen. So be careful if you kill him on this thing. Somebody starts the elevator, I guess. It's not really an elevator, it's a fall. But if the loot is on there, you might miss it. That's all. But he doesn't really drop anything of particular importance. So these 3 doors, only one of them is going to open each time. Each one has its own little set of hazards, I guess, you have to go through. They reduced the hazards a lot, so it's not as bad as it used to be. So if you can't make that jump, my suggestion is to get up on the little platform just a little higher and then jump diagonally across to the lower part. Because you might fall in the fire. The right side's probably the easiest one. You know, you just have that first little thing. Got some DPS in this group that like to stand inside red circles. Red cones and stuff, so that will cause them serious problems up ahead when we get to the scorpions. So the second boss here is a pair of scorpions. They used to be the most difficult bosses in the dungeon by a lot. See this right here? This is the leftmost path. If you take the leftmost path, you got to hop across those things and make it across. Actually, that might be the center path. I don't know. It's kind of weird. I guess the center path goes over the top of the leftmost path. I don't know. But that is another path where you have to hop along those things and try not to fall in the lava. So this little broken bridge floats up. You can fall off into the lava and die, which is just more of an embarrassment than it is anything else. Here's the fire scorpions. So this is still kind of a rough fight unless you have a super tank. We have a really squishy tank, so I'm kind of concerned about us. I don't know how good our DPS is, so we'll find out in just a second. So what usually would happen, or what used to happen when your group wasn't strong enough, the tank would grab one of these two. Actually, the group would fight one of them, and one of the DPSs would grab the aggro of the other scorpion and run him up that platform, away from the other ones. That way, you could fight one scorpion at a time, and it wasn't a big deal. I guess nobody's going to bring this guy back. I thought that other guy who was standing right next to him was going to do it, but obviously I was wrong. So all the attacks from the scorpions are pretty devastating. All I can really say is don't stand inside the AoEs. Don't stand inside the red circles. Not a good thing to do. And don't stand inside the cone attack. The other attacks are powerful, but they're not as bad as those. The tank is managing to evade my heals perfectly. I'm trying to heal him, but he keeps moving out of the way. But to go back to the actual strategy, what used to happen in this fight was one DPS would take the left scorpion and he'd get his aggro and he would run him away up the platform up there. And then the DPS would stay back and they'd just fight the one that was left. And the tank would be tanking that one. That other DPS would just kite the guy around as best he could, try not to die. And then when they killed the second scorpion, the tank and the rest of the DPS would run up there. So If you happen to get in a group that's right on the level for this dungeon, you may actually have to do that. So, but just know that that is the way that the way it was originally done. You did not sit down there and fight the two scorpions. These guys are rough. I don't know what this battling guy's doing. He obviously just doesn't care. That's fine. I was gonna mess with him, but I'm not. I'm just gonna let it go. But here's Lostmauth. So, a lot of stuff going on in here. The most important thing to worry about is the gold. I guess it's gold. You see it pouring in and all this gold around here. It's either gold or lava. I think it's gold. But if you're wondering why it hasn't started yet, this battle won't start until people finish the cutscene. So somebody's still watching it. So it may look like it's messed up, but it's really not. It's just waiting for the cutscene to finish. Lostmauth. So, other than being a red dragon and having all the typical abilities dragons do, the hit with the tail, the dragon breath, thing where they beat their wings and push everybody away, it's got all that. In addition to that, he's got a few other things. One, he has a eye laser attack. It'll kill a DPS. So if it gets put on a DPS, you got to time it just right to dodge it and live. If it's put on a tank, it's not a really big deal. So at certain points, you will see these sections. See the line, the section. You'll see these sections light up red. When they do, that section's going to sink down a little bit, and hot gold or lava is going to pour onto that section. It will kill you instantly. Don't get caught in it. Now, at 50% health, everybody has to run and stand in the middle, because the entire platform is going to sink. The lava is going to come up on the entire platform. That person didn't know it. And when that's happening, these rocks are going to be falling from the ceiling, and the purpose of that is to knock you off this platform. After he finishes doing it, he'll hop back down. And now the platforms are going to start sinking two at a time, not necessarily two right next to each other. And you got to pay attention. If your platform turns red, you've got to get off of it. You'll die. Doesn't really matter how powerful you are. Your hit points don't really matter. You're just gonna die. You see how this one turned? The other one turned? Something you have to look out for. Also, at some point, he's going to have these red fireball things flying around the room. When that happens, they don't do a lot of damage, but they like to bump you. And when they do, they knock you down. And, I haven't seen it yet. I thought they'd be here sooner. You see, this time we got both sides turned gold. So like I said, you got to pay attention. You see old Wiley there, or whatever his name is, walked into one just a second ago, and it wasn't good for him. But you basically see the entire fight. He never even made the little fire bomb things. So I guess it's fine. That's it for him. He never really made them. They basically just bounce around the room. They kind of follow a little path, like they'll go like that, and they'll bounce and move, and then they'll bounce off this edge, and they'll bounce. So that's what they do. They bounce around. And as they bump into you, they'll do a little bit of damage. But the main thing is that sometimes they can knock you in the lava, and that's really their purpose, is to try to knock you in the lava. Other than these glyphs, which only drop in these dungeons, in this one in Shores of Turn, you can also get one of the books in here. And Lostmauth stuff this used to be where it dropped, but now you can get it in other dungeons. The book, however, you can only get in this one. And I'm re-rolling to see if I can get it to drop for me. It didn't drop in that chest. Let's check this other one if I have enough for a key. Let's see. I do. These are the keys. One of these is for Turn. The other one is for Lostmauth. I believe the Ancient Dragon key is probably for Lostmauth. Yep, the Arcane Dragon key. Sorry, Arcane Dragon key is for Lostmauth. So let's see what's inside this. See if I can get. There it is. Briar's Draconic Investigations. This one drops here, and the other one drops in Shores of Turn. Let's see. See what the name of the other book is. You just got to look at the boons. You can find out. Harl's Treatise. I have not gotten the last boon on this character. I had no idea. But that's it. That is the Lair of Lostmauth.